What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's training video. And today we're going to talk about the single most important factor that creates longevity, especially when you're older, aka keeps you healthy and keeps you alive, that nobody really talks about. So when I say, let's say, what's going to keep you alive the longest? You'll say, well, being in shape, not being overweight, eating healthy, right? And you're right. These things will reduce disease by a drastic amount, and you should be doing them, and you are doing them every single day, right? Or as much as we can. Good over perfect. We want to do it as long as we can, possibly, and just stay consistent. But what is the one thing I never hear anybody talking about? Let me give you an example. When you're older and you fall, or no, let's say you fall right now. What do? You put your hands out, right? You brace yourself because you can, right? We're young, we're vibrant, we're strong, we're strong. So you brace yourself and you impact the fall so you don't fall with your face. Because if you hit the floor with your face, it's gonna hurt a lot more than hitting the floor with your arms extended and stopping the fall. Let's say you're 80 and 90, right? How about if you've never been to the gym, you haven't been active, and you haven't built up the strength? What do? You can't put your first of all, your arms are weak and they might not react in time. Second of all, if you don't have that strength built up and your ligaments reinforced over time, you might just completely break your arm and still fall on your face, and then you can't get up. And what happens if you can't get up? You can't call an ambulance, and you're sitting there just essentially paralyzed. And that's what happens to a lot of elderly people. They fall, and after the fall, because of those injuries, they tend to pass away. So what can we do to stop that? Well, we can get stronger. And how can we get stronger? By working out, by progressively overload. Something we tell you all the time, progressively overload. Keep pushing yourself until you hit that sweet spot, until you feel strong, until you can do your activities. Now, what does strength do? Well, strength makes essentially everything in your life easier. Think of this. If I pick up a piece of paper, or all right, let me make it more. If I pick up a 5-pound packet of paper, right, and I'm not strong, I can pick it up like 5 times. And then I'm like, shit, that's heavy. I'm done. But if I've been working out, let's say 20, 30 years, I pick up that 5-pound piece of paper and it feels like nothing. I'm just picking her up, flinging it around 30, 40 times, and it's not a problem. It's because you built up strength. Essentially, building strength increases your endurance for other activities. The same thing goes for getting up. If you've built those leg muscles, you can get up much easier. If you built those ligaments, you can pick up much easier without worrying about snapping something, especially if you're eating right. If you're eating right and improving your strength, that is the Goldilocks zone of success for longevity. Now, being strong isn't just about lifting stuff. It's about walking. Think of this. You've seen it. My grandmother, in particular, cannot walk without her walker, right? And why is that? Well, over time, your stabilizer muscles get weaker. You experience atrophy, or you get this thing called sarcopenia. How do you get sarcopenia? Sarcopenia is the loss of muscle. You lose muscle. And what's the biggest way to lose muscle is by not working out, and especially not working out while eating enough protein. And the older you get, I don't know if any of you know this, the more protein you need. So if you're not working out, building towards that strength, and you're not eating well, supplementing your body to build that strength, then you lose it. And once you lose it after a certain age, it's not impossible, but it is hard to get any of it back. You'll never get all of it back, but any of it back. You know what's not hard? If you look at studies that show people that have been healthy their entire life and stuck to working out, they lose muscle at a 90% slower rate than somebody who doesn't do any of that. Would you rather have 90% of your muscle or just 10% of it? Which one's going to help you throughout your life more when you're older? Right now, we all feel good, right? We all feel so great right now. I can do anything. I can do a backflip. And then 10 years go by and you're like, I can't really do a backflip. Then 20 years go by and you're like, I don't even want to jump. But if we keep this progress, keep our flexibility, and keep our strength, there's no reason why we can't keep doing what we're doing. There's no reason why we can't play sports with our grandkids or pick them up or get out of bed. You don't want to be in this essential flesh prison where you're just sitting there every single day watching everybody do these activities, watching everybody get up and down when you can't without help. And that's why we should focus on strength over everything in the gym, right? Looks come with the strength, but we want that strength because that strength actually benefits our lives, benefits our health, especially long term. The looks are great, right? I love the looks. I love looking good, especially mentally. But our goal is the strength. And I'm not saying you have to be a power lifter. You just have to be stronger than you were before. That's all you have to be. You don't have to be deadlifting or picking up thousands of pounds. But there's markers, like being able to lift 1.5 your body or like your body weight X amount of times, being able to do 2 to 3 pull-ups, being able to do some push-ups. And you don't have to do this right away. You can build up to it. But as long as you're making progress to build up to it, you're building and investing in your later life, not now. And that's why we say this all the time. What you're doing now is not paying upfront with your time and your money and your resources. It's investing into the future. You're investing into the you, the S&P you. And this is a 20, 30 year plus investment that will pay off tenfold if you stick to it. If you don't just, get strong for a year and then forget about it. No, that's not what we want. We want to be strong and consistent for many years. So when we get older, yeah, we're going to all die eventually, but I would rather die walking than being in a wheelchair for the rest of my life or needing somebody next to me at all times because I might fall. I don't want that on me. I don't want that on somebody else. And that all stems from creating a stronger physically you. And that's why we preach for you to push yourself at the gym, to eat right so you can build that strength, because that strength will come back into fruition and you will be so happy that you built up this strength over time. So that is the single, if not most important factor of longevity, just being a strong person. We were never meant to be these essentially a weakling, right? You don't want to be a weak person ever. You want, aka you can't get out of bed yourself. Everything in our life has become so comfortable, right? Our beds, perfect height, even though in some countries they're lower so they can promote you getting up. But you don't have to get up anymore, right? You don't have to stand up out of bed. You just essentially back up in the bed and you're good, and you get up and your legs are perfect height and everything's perfect. You sit all day so you don't have to use your muscles. So if you're not going to the gym or doing any type of activity and just going through your day-to-day life, you're losing that strength, you're losing that muscle over and over again until there's nothing left and you need a walker to walk because you don't have the strength in your hips anymore. Your stabilizer muscles aren't even there anymore. They're just dust. And that's the last thing we want. So take those stairs, make progress at the gym, make strength your priority, and the looks will come with the strength, the weight loss will come with the strength, and the health will come long term with the strength. So when looking what to prioritize, get your nutrition in check and make sure you're pushing yourself to an extent to build that strength, because when you're older, you will thank yourself every single day that you are able to go up the stairs, you are able to walk up hills, you are able to walk to your bed from the living room without any assistance. And if God forbid you do fall, you will just get back up because you have the strength to help yourself and not rely on others in times of need. So guys, that's this week's training video. Get strong, eat well, and I will see you guys next time.